Let's talk, Chris, about something that you had on the front page of the paper today, and I did like that it took a lot of other media organisations most of the day to actually follow up on what was screaming on the front page of the freaking newspaper this morning, but it was that our old mate, the Hamburglar, well, for once I'm on her side, because the Hamburglar Sue Hickey, named as such because, of course, she was wearing the black and white stripes of the Hamburglar when she stole the speakership with the help of the Labor Party and the Greens. Well, she had this confrontation with the Deputy Leader of the Opposition, who's a Sheila who doesn't like being called one.
Miss O'Byrne, it's very unladylike to be yelling in the Parliament.
Can I draw your attention to the inappropriateness of mentioning someone's gender in any kind of warning in Parliament? If you wish to refer to me, my name is Michelle O'Byrne, or the member for Bass, or the Deputy Leader of the Opposition.
Sorry, Miss O'Byrne, are you referring that to me?
Yes, Madam Speaker. Yeah. The word ladylike, Madam Speaker.
Oh, for goodness sake, this is political correctness taken to the nth degree. Your behaviour was inappropriate, whether it was ladylike or otherwise, and I will not be spoken to like that again, Miss.
Now, before we get too excited about the Hamburglar wanting to be a great warrior for political correctness, she voted with Labor and the Greens to change the birth certificates in Tasmania now that when you have a baby, it's up to you to apply whether it's a boy or a girl. So, OK. But, Chris, I'm kind of on her side for once.
Well, and you know that Sue Hickey actually does know ladylike behaviour very well. You might not know that Sue Hickey was Miss Tasmania for 1979. She proudly wore the tiara for an entire year before handing it on at the end of her stint. So she certainly knows about ladylike behaviour, and there she was calling out, look, you know, good, whatever. Look, I'm backing her as well. I think it was fair enough. However, some breaking news down there in Parliament sitting late tonight. She's done it again. She's voted against the government with Labor and the Greens on a bit of legislation that was clearly Liberal Party policy. That is the policy of the party that she is a member of. This time it was to do with a bill that would have made it mandatory for minimum sentences of 6 months for anyone who seriously assaults frontline workers like nurses, paramedics,
she voted
those
against
sort of guys.
this?
She's voted against it with Labor and the Greens, so that's been voted down. Another election policy gone down here, courtesy of Sue Hickey.
So she's elected with this being one of the policies of the party that she was standing for, yet Scott, when she gets into the Parliament, she votes it down. Now, she's flirted with the idea of leaving the party. She will inevitably towards the end. She's using it all for profile. She'll run as an independent. Labor doesn't run against her. You know how all this game goes for the next little while. Poor Will Hodgman. This bloke, you know how hard it is for the Liberals to get a majority in Tasmania? He got one, but sadly, it was her.
Yeah, it's extraordinary, isn't it? She should just admit the fact that she's just a fellow traveller now of the Greens and Labor, stop this charade of that she was a Liberal, is a Liberal. I mean, especially when you've been elected on these kind of policies, you got your spot into Parliament on the back, not because of her name, not because she was Miss Tasmania in 1979, but the fact that she ran as a Liberal candidate. She's now jettisoning all the policies that and the promises that she made when she was running. I just find this stuff really disgusting, actually. As a former parliamentarian, I hate seeing people who get into Parliament on the back of a political party, and then as soon as they get in, they just jettison that and they pretend it's all about them.
Well, you know, Jenna, a couple of things here. I mean, how do you feel about when the Deputy Labor leader stands up and sort of wants to make a thing about the concept of something being unladylike? You know, I know 3 blokes are banging on about this, but what do you think?
Well, as someone who's been called that quite a few times in my life, I'm generally after a couple of rums in the pub. I think it's really great to take stock of the entire situation. I kind of enjoyed the rambunctious behaviour of several women in the chamber today, because I just thought it was really great to see a couple of Sheilas in public office having a stoush. And look, Tasmania are quite progressive when it comes to the amount of women that they do have in their chamber. I think they had, you know, they have been able to stand since 1922. We've had Lara Giddings, you've had Christine Milne down there. So I just like seeing the girls have it out like it's a footy match.
But it's that thing where, I mean, are some people too precious about this stuff? About automatically assuming that to make reference to gender is somehow a slight?
Yeah. I think what Michelle O'Brien was doing was probably putting it on public record that, you know, this is how certain behaviour should be carried out and it shouldn't be such an issue. Gender shouldn't be brought into a conversation or an argument with someone else. But I guess, you know, you need to take stock of the situation and read the room, essentially. And I don't think she read the room because Madam Speaker was not too impressed.
No.